Shirley here with Sirius Dallas Moon and continuing in our Chiron series, Venus Day, Venus Hour. Venus is with Uranus, but the Moon is applying to post Pluto, is squaring the Sun from Leo, Sun in Taurus, applying to square Pluto. Um, I don't capture Venus, Uranus right now, and Jupiter is ingress to the 18 degrees. So Mars 11th, toxic beliefs, everyone, toxic beliefs. Wait, when was Jupiter ingress into the 18 degrees? No, it was literally 5 minutes ago or so. Actually, with the moon in a visible sign and Jupiter in 18 degrees Cancer, it's a great time to address toxic beliefs and their role in the Chiron formation because um, I'm going to address the Chiron Taurus and then the Chiron Gemini. And so with the Chiron Taurus, there can also be, I have to see when did it ingress because it wasn't 18 degrees when you opened the day. Anyway, while I'm checking that, Chiron Taurus can also be a wound around the artist, the sensual, the artistic abilities, and all these things where the artistic creative abilities of a person were not honored, um, either because they picked the wrong colors or wrong textures in the light of their environment, or that they were creating art. You think about the people that like pink, for example. Think about, I don't know, a young boy that finds a pink shirt really beautiful, and people are like, is he gay? And it's like, doesn't have to be. What, like, not a problem if he is, not a problem if he isn't. That choice might not even be concern. Maybe pink just suits him well, and this can absolutely be one of those Chiron Taurus wounds where, um, or even think about a boy that has, think about Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci, I don't know where was his Chiron, but the way that he painted babies was with such tenderness to their babies with baby skin, but he kept that baby texture also to his other paintings, which was seen as the sensual and the feminine and the profane and the sacred at the same time. And partially that was the Renaissance, in a way that became desired. And with that, we would have the face of the Mona Lisa, which was a commoner. Some people say prostitute, but there was no place for a woman in society other than that. So, um, and Chiron Taurus, I don't remember where was Chiron. Well, Da Vinci had Chiron 0 degree Aquarius, but or Aries 0 degree Aquarius. I don't know. Um, but Chiron Taurus can very well be even the notion that the feminine was only seen as a whore, even if it's the infant. And then anybody displaying feminine, that which is the feminine or the artistic or singing abilities, would immediately categorized as the feminine that needs to be, that is profane and that is a whore at the same time, and that is weak and disabled and ignorant and whatnot, which could also give the artistic professions connotations that trafficked a lot of the artists or perpetuated the trafficking of the artists. Um, and Um, and the qualities of the feminine, which are very, um, how should I say that? The spirit in the matter in Taurus is not yet verbal. It's the tonation before it is the constituents and the words. It's I saw a village where the babies' names were sounds of voices. I have Sun Venus in Taurus, and my mother named me Shirley, which basically means a song to me or my song. And she had a little line between the Shir and the Li, which was differentiating it from the common name Shirley. Um, Chiron here can be that musical tonation quality of the person since infanthood was not accepted because of the way that the feminine is seen. Um, it can also be that as this person tries to create something artistic, there is a wound around it looking feminine. Um, or a wound around it looking, let's say, tender. So it can either be that it is tender creates a wound, or that they or that the opposite, which is if they try to create something tender, it can also be if it's a girl, for example, that it has a wound around being feminine. But then to connect with the feminine energy might not be suffice because we would need to address the feminine that is the infant. And the feminine energy was not honored because the infant was not honored for its being feminine. Um, and I'm not really mad, it's true. But this is where the society is mad. People have to be tagged as mad in order to have a place in society. And this wound can also be, for the people that have Chiron Taurus, um, it may manifest itself as such as well. Um, so it can be both the tomboy and the boy that likes pink. And it can be extremely masculine, but but like pink. Um, I talked about artists. I talked about there is a banking connotation to Chiron Taurus, um, which relates to everything I previously said. If it's like in the eighth house of a person, then their investments not yielding would be a wound around the feminine. Okay, if somebody has like a Gemini ascendant, nay, Libra ascendant, where Chiron going through Taurus um, is the issues with their investments, with their passive income, with their savings has to do with if the feminine is not honored, that would not yield, or that there would be a wound around what that money would be used for, which means to curate. Or it might yield, but they would need to curate to use it to curate the wounded feminine. If I think about, let's say, um, my income, which was Aries, was mainly used to curate the wounds around disability that have to do with the toxic masculinity and not honoring the femininity in the society. So for by the way, for people with Virgo ascendant, Chiron is going through your eighth houses right now. And watch my previous episodes because they have a lot to do with why your investments might not be yielding. Um, or the wound around the motivations for your passive income or the motivations of the companies that you are invested in. Eighth house can actually be either somebody is an angel investor in someone or somebody is an angel investor themselves. Or that they're an angel investor investing in them, or that they're an angel investors can also be Aries. And wound around entrepreneurship. For example, AI is having employees not wanting to train AI, which kind of makes sense. If people don't know, if people are not safe that their identity will be honored, that their sense of self will be honored when there'll be AI, they don't feel safe teaching AI, and then AI has a wound around identity, which creates various unwanted behaviors by AI, by the way, which is the AI agent's misbehavior. So this is another facet of Chiron Aries. To Chiron Gemini. Chiron Gemini is a wound around um, the contrarian, the binary, the language development phase. Now you want to pay attention. If Mercury is in Taurus, then that would be the pre-verbal phase where babies stuff things and begin to make sounds. If this is in Aries, it might be the pre-verbal stage that is the infant stage where the infant just lays there.